Manchester United are making plans for academy youngsters Toby Collier and Harry Amos next season on what is best suited to their development. Lenny Yoro's injury, he's expected to be out to 3 months, although there's no official confirmation of that. United are trying to hide the detail of his injury, and it may not be quite as bad as 3 months despite having a broken metatarsal. The McTominay Sale will massively change INEOS's plan if that can happen. The amount of money raised through McTominay Sale and pure FFP profit, which is 30 million, can go really far into investing into Manchester United's midfield plans. We'll talk about how that changes things. The latest on Ugarte, the latest on Amrabat, Fenerbahce making an offer for Amrabat. What is the latest on Ten Hag? What's Ten Hag said about transfer signings coming in? What's Ten Hag said about the future of Sancho and Casemiro? And obviously, INEOS looking to back Ten Hag and send a real message this summer that they're here, they're ready to back Ten Hag and more. So please do that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new, and let's get into today's news video. So because we just talk about Mazraoui, Ugarte, McTominay, De Ligt, Casemiro all the time, I want to start with something different, but obviously in the live show, we'll give you the updates on Wan-Bissaka because there's a big meeting going on today with Man United and Bayern and obviously other Premier League clubs that would probably assume that Wan-Bissaka, Mazraoui, De Ligt movement is maybe coming in today. So I'll probably be live about 5 o'clock later. But let's talk about the youth. There is a decision to be made on Toby Collier. Ten Hag rates the midfielder, but he will weigh up whether to organise a loan or keep him in-house to develop. Harry Amos is expected to continue the season with United. Now, Harry Amos continuing the season with United makes 100% sense. He's only just turned 17. That's a little young for a loan spell. He can contribute to the academy, he can learn, he can grow, but also if he stays around, he can be moulded into Ten Hag kind of player and someone that can do Ten Hag system. He's got the technical abilities, it's just about him developing physically, defensively. With the injury issues we've had at left back, I think he's one just to keep around just in case, and then he can sort of be developed into what Ten Hag wants, because if you go out on loan, you have to learn a whole new brand of football. Now with Toby Collier, he is obviously 20 years of age, so he's obviously someone that's got to get out and get minutes this season. And I think with the question marks of a Casemiro, I think there's potential that he could come in and stay. I think Man United like him, but they know that he's not quite as far along as Kobbie Mainoo. So they're thinking, do we loan him out or do we keep him in-house to develop? I think that's a big decision that United are going to make, and I think it's massively going to depend on if we sign 2 midfielders or not. I think if we get Ugarte and Amrabat, he goes. If we just get Ugarte, he comes in. I think it depends on the sales, who comes in. It depends on what happens with the midfield, and I think it's going to be one of those that's made in the last minute. I'd like to keep Toby Collier around, but if we sign, let's say, for example, we sign Fofana and Ugarte, I'd let Toby Collier go out on loan. But if we just signed Ugarte, I would keep Toby Collier around, personally, myself. Now, with Lenny Yoro, it was said Manchester United attempted to keep Lenny Yoro's injury secret due to ongoing negotiations for other targets like De Ligt. Bayern know there's more pressure to recruit centre-back, which affects United's bargaining position, which is probably, again, why Bayern Munich are holding out for 42 million for De Ligt and we want to pay 38 million and it's at 4 million. I just think pay the money for De Ligt is 4 million difference. They want 60 million. You're willing to pay 55 million. Get it done. He said that Man United staff will assess Lenny Yoro's broken metatarsal further when he arrives back in the UK. The squad is set to return on Sunday afternoon, and the extent of Yoro's injury is unknown and may not be as severe as initially thought. He will spend some time on the sidelines, but it might not recover. Quite a recovery period of 3 months, which was spinning off these articles that said that Lenny Yoro's obviously got a bad injury. He's going to be out for a while. United tried to hide that. It's been said that he's out for 3 months. There's a feeling like he's going to be out for 2 months, but maybe not 3. Best case scenario, because if you know about Lenny Yoro, he was meant to be out for like 5 games and he only missed like 1 game at Lille, or was meant to be out for like 3 games and he missed 1 game at Lille, and he's recovered from any little setback he's had, which is barely any, very quickly. So he may be ready in 2 months, not 3 months. You know, they won't actually know 100% when he's back and ready to play until they've done the full assessment. It can take 2 to 3 months. I think it's just give him 3 months to be on the safe side. We don't want him getting injured again. I would rather it take a bit longer. But potentially, you never know, there could be a boost there in the sense of Man United are very much hiding the details. It's probably going to be 2 to 3 months. They're saying 3 months, but if it could be on the lesser side, just 2-3 weeks less, I mean, it is a boost in regards to that. But do not rush him back if he's injured. Now, obviously, I was reading this report through OneFootball about how McTominay Sale changes sort of United's plans. So, despite Erik ten Hag's public support, McTominay is up for sale, attracting interest from Fulham, Galatasaray, Tottenham, and Fenerbahce. While valued for his dedication and physical prowess, his fit within ten Hag's pressing-based possession style system is questioned due to concerns about his positional discipline and passing consistency. Selling him could financially benefit Manchester United into pursuing other targets. Raising 25 to 30 million in pure profit sales will have a significant impact on United's transfer plans. And I've always said this, I think Mazraoui and De Ligt are happening. I think we probably will get Ugarte on loan no matter what happens with McTominay. But if you can get 25 to 30 million pure profit from McTominay, I do think that gives United funds to really stretch a little bit further this window, potentially a second midfield signing, potentially Amrabat on top of Ugarte, which I think right now we need a fullback, we need a centre-back, and we need two midfielders. And then if Sancho and Casemiro are gone, we probably also need another attacker. But because of pure FFP profit, that 30 million from McTominay going could go really far. An investment. Now, it could go into Ugarte. What is the latest on Ugarte? I said this last night, that negotiations with PSG for Ugarte could take more time because of financial fair play. Outgoings important. Again, Roman is basically hinting at McTominay. Manchester United needs to balance on all kinds of cases. Ugarte keeps waiting. Man United may have to do an option where they buy Ugarte next season if they can't balance the books if McTominay is not sold. But if McTominay is sold, I believe that PSG will lower the price for Ugarte and we'll get Ugarte if McTominay is sold. If not, we'll probably negotiate for a loan deal. It'll be like Amrabat we've done last minute. Now, interestingly, PSG are very close to signing William Pacho for £34 million. Now, Liverpool were really strongly linked to William Pacho back in June, and Frankfurt wanted €60 million. It's 2 months later, no one's gone in for William Pacho, and Frankfurt are willing to accept a €40 million deal. I do think because this transfer window has been incredibly quiet, and everyone is now kind of desperate to sell so they can spend, these price tags are being lowered. Normally, it's get your business done in June. It'll be cheaper, but I almost feel like the price tags of a lot of players are being lowered because teams need to sell. PSG have brought in Jao Neves. They're going to bring in Pacho. They need to sell Ugarte. They need the funds. Man United apparently made a £42 million bid for Ugarte. PSG are going to need to accept that as well. Guys, please do hit that like button and, of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new and want to stay up to date on all the latest Manchester United news. We are on the road to 90,000 subscribers by the end of the transfer window and 87,850 subscribers. So do subscribe if you're new. But let's dive into the next story. So what is the latest on McTominay? This was also a little bit of an older story, but just to give you context of what's happening with McTominay, Fulham made a 20 million bid for McTominay. It did not meet Man United's valuation, but the club may be willing to do business at 25 million. Fulham are progressing with talks and a belief that McTominay open to a move. So it's definitely one to watch. I think if McTominay sold, United's window changes massively. I really do. I think that the midfield, for me, which is the most important thing, if we go into next season without a new midfield, I'll be very worried. I'm worried about Casemiro. McTominay doesn't help when he starts. He's just going to come off the bench. We need two new midfielders, in my opinion. Fofana, Ugarte, get them both in. Ugarte, Suleiman, get them both in. We need two new midfielders. If we can go in with at least Ugarte, one new midfielder, I will feel somewhat more confident. But we need two new midfielders. So for me, the sale of McTominay is so important because what I do not rate is our midfield. I think our front line can do the job. I think get De Ligt and Mashbarry in the fence, and I think it can do the job, hoping that we don't get the injury crisis of last year. It's the midfield. It's the midfield where I'm worried about. So let's continue on. On Amrabat, it was said that Manchester United are only being linked with handing Amrabat a PR lifeline because they're unable to source a replacement at this stage. Man United have also been holding off making a final decision over Amrabat's future due to ongoing certainty of whether Casemiro, McTominay or Eriksen will remain at the club. Fenerbahce are interested in signing Amrabat and are prepared to make €11 million offer for the player, according to Sport. So there is reports that Fenerbahce may make a bid for Amrabat and he may get fed up of Man United and go to Fenerbahce. But considering Amrabat's love for United, it feels like Amrabat's just going to wait till deadline day again for Man United. And I don't know if we'll get him or not on deadline day. I think it depends on the outs, the ins, who we've already got. But it looks like Amrabat's probably going to sit there and say, you know what, I'm going to wait for Manchester United. But there could be bids coming in for Amrabat. And I think if we do want Amrabat, we're probably going to have to make a decision soon. If the bids start flying in, it could put a little bit of pressure on Manchester United as well. Continuing on, Ten Hag was asked about potential signings coming to Manchester United. And Ten Hag said, we're always looking, and especially we have seen this new leadership team is really eager to do business, to make deals. They're on it. But if the timing is there, if the opportunities are there, I don't know. I can't say in this moment, but I'm sure they are there. They will go forward. So Ten Hag is saying, we're looking to do new signings. We're eager, but I can't say anything, which obviously is what he's got to say. But I like how Ten Hag is saying, this new team is really eager to do business, which is suggesting that Ten Hag feels backed. He feels that INEOS is serious. They're really eager to do business, and not just business, but good business. Ten Hag was asked about Sancho and Casemiro. He said Sancho's role, he could play as a striker. He can play out wide. He's an option as a full striker, and he was asked if he expects Casemiro to stay, and he said all the players who are there, if they want to play for us, want to play for the badge, they have the quality, then I hope they continue contributing to our team. We've seen Casemiro in his career so far, successful, so it doesn't say he's necessarily staying, but it says, look, this is the situation with Casemiro. If he does stay, I'm happy, but I think that's an indication of if he does go, it's still on the cards, but I think Casemiro is staying. Now, last of all, it was said that Erik ten Hag is going to use this week to decide whether the players who return from the break are ready to be in action for the Community Shield game in August. Manchester United leaders are now giving Ten Hag visible messages of support compared to the end of last season, where the relationship seemed fragile as well. So this was said by Laurie Whitwell. Ten Hag is now using this week to prepare for the Community Shield. Who's ready, who's not ready? I'll do a video on Wednesday of what the lineup could be for the Community Shield. And apparently now that the INEOS, the regime, are really trying to back Ten Hag now or show support to Ten Hag now, because obviously the communication in summer wasn't good enough and the relationship could have become strained. So they're really hoping to back Ten Hag, give him what he wants in Van Nistelrooy, Rene Hake, give him what he wants in terms of additions as well. But listen, people, that's the end of today's video. It's just a 10-minute little roundup of all the news. I should be back live at 5 p.m. if any news comes out, even earlier if there's any breaking